He's not on the microphone. And House Flipper enthusiast, welcome. So I am completely obsessed with gardening and garden design, which is why I love this game, House Flipper. You can remodel the inside of houses, but of course, my obsession is not only that, but the gardens. So what I'm going to do tonight is take you through what I have already done on my English cottage garden. And then I'm going to show you some areas where I stupidly accidentally deleted my game and I have to redo them. And I'll give you like my obsessively nerdy tips for how to make your garden look amazing. So here we go. This is the beginning. So when you walk in to a cottage style garden, what I like about them is when you have unexpected surprises come up on you. So for instance, you're walking down the path and oh my God, there's a huge flower explosion that you couldn't see from the gate. So I'm going to show you again. We're at the gate. You're walking, you don't see it. Oh my God, there it is. So now this is the really quintessential cottage garden style where you have tons and tons of flowers crammed into a tiny space. And if you follow our little path, you come in and, oh, there's a bench you can sit. And we'll pretend, what? Okay, we'll do it again. Oh. All right. So we're going to start over. Okay. Did anybody hear that then, or do I have to explain? Can they still hear me? So I don't know if you could hear Matt. If anybody's out there listening, probably not. But something was glitchy with the stream, so you could hear me but not see me. So we get to do it again. Okay, so now you'll really be surprised when I take you on a walk through my garden.
That was my fault. I am going to switch us over now.
Are you on the mic? Can people hear you? Oh, good. So people can hear him. Okay. So are you ready?
Yeah. So they can see your.
Now they can see my screen.
Yep.
I'm moving left, moving right. Okay. All right. So we're going to take you through that again. So if you were listening, this is House Flipper. This is Liz from The Nerdy Rat. I'm going to plug that. Our podcast you can listen to at thenerdyrat.com and on iTunes. So cottage style garden, what I like about it is that it's full of surprises where it's like you walk down and you don't think you see anything. And then all of a sudden you turn the corner and there it is, an explosion of flowers. So what you might have heard me saying is that this is the really quintessential garden style of the cottage gardens where it's just like a ton of flowers crammed into a space, but it's trickier to create than it looks. So I'm not really going to get into the details too much of creating the flower bed just yet. But so I put a little bench in so you can turn around and you can sit down. And what I like to think about when I'm designing my gardens is where the focal points are. So I put the focal point right here was this little miniature weeping willow tree that I put in. And then to accentuate that, I put this cute little elephant statue with the little water dish in front of it. And so that's what I started with for this design. And then I built out from there. And the things that I was thinking of first were where my height was going to come in from the back. So you can tell I've got some evergreen trees. I have the apple tree back there. Some of these tall butterfly bushes, some extra evergreens. And you build it up layer by layer. But it can be a little tricky in this game because not everything fits together as well as you might like it to. You have to kind of trial and error to cram the flowers in there when you're trying to do it that close. So anyway, what I paid attention to was when I was designing this little back area, I didn't want the fences to just be completely bare. So you can tell I've got some vines going up on them. And then that's the inside of my house. We'll get to that. But what you'll notice is that I blocked the rest of the path off because, like I said, with cottage garden design, you want a lot of surprises and you want a lot of mystery. So I didn't want you to be able to see the rest of the garden from this little secluded area. So that's why I have all these evergreens here. So if we go back out, I'm going to show you my other little area that I have finished. Which is, you notice there's a little stepping stone there. You can walk between the trees and you've got this nice little shade garden area. So I did put in some typical shade plants here, which are the hostas. But mostly what I was doing is I wanted you to get little peaks of the little flower area, but not get the whole effect of it. So I was doing a lot with trying to block it from view. And like, I didn't want to have the ugly bear fence, so I put in some of these trellis plants. What was challenging is that I wanted these big stepping stones, so it was kind of hard to find plants that would actually fit down here. So that's why I did a lot of these little grasses. But anyway, let's back up. I'm obsessed. So I really am constantly like walking and rewalking when I'm designing the garden to like check the sight lines and everything. So you can see, even from here, you can barely see the flower area. So we're walking in. You can't really tell what's coming. You turn the corner and then it's like, oh my God, a little chair. It's another little focal area. And then you keep walking and surprise, it's a lovely little focal garden with the water dish. So that's, bam, cottage garden style design right there, where you have all the little secrets opening up. So some of the things that I really paid attention to were that, again, I wanted to kind of block the flower area here because I didn't want you to see too much of it from this side. But also I was constantly paying attention from the other side to what the sight lines were looking like back here, because I wanted to make sure I still liked the back view. Now, originally I wanted to walk all the way through, but once I put the apple tree in, you couldn't walk past. So I just decided, nope, you're not going to be able to walk there. So it's just a nice little shaded area. There it is. Okay, so then if you turn, you also have lovely sight views. So you can see you've got like the whole nice little shaded corner going through, the different vines, the grasses. And again, the evergreens kind of block your view, so you can't really see too much of what you're coming up on. And then you come back out. All right, so now this is the area, and Matt can attest, I was so freaking depressed because Steam asked me, did I want to use the files from the cloud or the local server? I was thinking like maybe it meant an update or something. So I said from the cloud, and it erased all my progress. So I had this whole little wildflower area finished. And I also had the whole area with the gazebo and the ponds completely landscaped and finished. So another day I will work on redoing those areas and show you how I did them. But one thing I really liked, so this is the almost only a garden house that you can buy. One thing I liked is that they call these weeds, but they're actually really pretty native plants. And I liked the meadow effect. So I added some extra flowers in there to kind of build up the meadow here. And what I did, and I'm not finished, but I was adding some shrubbery in the back to kind of close this area off. And I wanted to give a hint of the gazebo, but when I had it finished, it was way better because I think I had some higher shrubs and things, so you couldn't see the whole gazebo. But speaking of sight lines, this is where I get obsessed. You're going to see my OCD perfectionism come out. So you notice when you turn, oh, look at that. The gazebo is perfectly centered between the two birch trees. And look, the fountain is also perfectly centered from this focal point. And as you walk, I just did some little landscaping here in front of all these evergreens, but you also still have pretty nice sight lines. You've got the gazebo here, and it's kind of centered with this one in the middle, and then the fountain. So then my little bench. So this area over here in front of us is the vegetable potager garden, which I've started. And this area is just kind of a holding area for now, except for the fountain. So what I had done, I'll show you what I had started. I had the gazebo. I put a little pond in here, but I had like more rocks. I had a water feature. I had bamboo. I had everything. I had the trees, the shrubs. Oh my God, it was perfect. And I lost it. So I'm going to have to redo it when I'm not feeling quite so bitter. I had a little bench. It was beautiful. So we'll get back to that. But anyway, the gazebo's here. Let me show you what I'm doing with the potager right now. Okay, so a potager style garden, if you don't know, it's a formal vegetable garden, which is decorative, and you use the plants and the colors and the textures of the plants to create like geometric patterns and actually like art designs. So the first thing I did was start with the pergola. And of course I was obsessed. So I walked back and forth like a million times to the edge of the path, and I had to move that pergola probably like 15 times, but I got it. So you notice these 3 birch trees. Oh, look at that. They're framed by the pergola. But that wasn't the only way I had to frame the pergola in my obsessive mind. I also framed it so that when you turned from the center of it, these 3 trees are centered. Isn't that lovely? That's how you do it perfectionist style. And then from this side, I'm going to put an orchard in, but I haven't done that yet. But I also wanted it so that when you looked back at the path was kind of centered in front of you too, and you had a nice frame. So I find that's really helpful with this game, is just to walk around and view your work from so many different angles, because that's the way to get it perfectly perfect as far as lined up and aligned and the way you want it. And one thing I find in real life with gardening too is that you really want to think about how it looks from every different angle. So like if you look over here, back when I was finished with my pond area, I had trees and stuff. So it was like a little mystery again. And you walk through the path to the gazebo and you came out and surprise. And like here, you get a peek of the flower garden over here on the right, but you can't really see too much of it. Okay. So what I did as far as the first potager thing, I'm doing points of a star, basically, like triangular points. So over here, I obsessively put in these cherry tomato plants, and that's what I did first. I started with the point of the star, and then each time I put in one of the side plants, I did the ones in front of the post next, and then like I would come and stand behind it and check to see if it lined up exactly, and then I would also come and stand up here at the point and make sure like it was lining up straight. So that's how I put all the plants in. I would just like constantly go check it. I'd come around. I'd be like, does it line up? Does it line up? So this one's got the cherry tomatoes, it's got the cabbage, and then it's got the carrots. Now, a suggestion I made on Reddit is that they add a ton more vegetables and herbs and vegetable garden flowers, because there's really not that many left after I did this other point. There's a few I haven't used, but there's not a lot. So in real life, I'd have a lot more to work with. So on this side of the triangle, I kind of wanted to mimic the color scheme, which was red and orange. So I used raspberry plants, and I chose to put those a little closer together because, like the obsessive nerd that I am, when you grow them, you actually would grow them closer together in real life in more of a thicket style versus the cherry tomatoes, which you have to space out a little more. And then coming in, these are like the herb and the flower that they have that you would actually typically use in a vegetable garden. So they've got the marigolds, so I put those in for the orange. This is a chamomile plant, which you can make chamomile tea from. So that's like a flowering herb. And then I put the strawberries in to make it the red. So again, I was completely obsessed with the points and lining everything up, etc. It took forever. But I love it. So now I'm just very pleased with how it came out. Now here I'm putting in grape plants, and I haven't planted them yet because I want to make sure of where they're going before I put them in. But I've got the grapes. Now in real life, when people have pergolas and they're vegetable gardeners, typically they have them to grow grapes on, or you could even grow strawberries on them. You could grow pumpkins on them. If you're into flowers, you can grow roses on them. So I really would love in the game if they added some pergola options where they came with the flowering plants on top of them, because all they have are naked pergolas. And I'm like, it's not really my favorite thing. It's like Joanna from, babe, what's that TV show that I used to watch, that flipper one on TV? Do you remember? It was like that Magnolia Farms girl, Joanna and Chip. You all probably know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
The one where they flip, they would like do the reveal or whatever.
Yeah, they were sometimes a little annoying to watch, and she was like obsessed with shiplap and pergolas basically. So anyway, that's my pergola. So what I'm going to do in a minute is I'm going to work a little bit more on the point of the star going out this way. Now I haven't decided yet, But I don't think I'm going to do a point here because I want to be able to walk into the pergola. But I think I might do like a spike or a half point or something. So I kind of have to work that out. I'll show you what I've done on the inside of the house. Now, this particular house is very small because it's almost only a garden. So it's mostly garden space. So in the game, I moved my office here so that this is basically like the property I own and live at because obviously I'm obsessed with gardens and I'm not going to flip this house. I'm going to keep this garden for myself.
Was it Fixer Upper?
Yeah, it was Fixer Upper. That was the name of the TV show. Yeah. So, okay. So inside this house, I basically made it like a little studio apartment. It didn't have this extra room. So I added this room for a bathroom. And obviously I just did this to please myself because I like to imagine that it's my house and I'm living there. So I tried to match the cottage garden style. So that's why I kind of went with the pinks and the purples and the greens and kind of the antique furnishings and like the antique rug just to kind of match all of that. So this is a sofa in the game, but I thought it could be a cute little bed. So I put it there for a bed. I've got my painting. Now, some of the issues I still have with the game are that you can't put things on the shelves. On all of the shelves. Some of the shelves you can, but some of the shelves are still like either glitching or they haven't developed it to that point yet. So like I wasn't able to get the books up there on the shelves. I couldn't get anything on the shelves. Another issue I have is that they only have one style of tiny house plant. The other house plants they have are all freaking huge. They're like as big as this one or bigger. So there's not a lot of variety. You can change the color of the pot for this one, I think, for the small one, but that's about it. So I've got like my little shabby chic desk going on. A little picture of a cat because we have a cat. So I like that they had that in the game. So in here, I did the bathroom. Now, one thing that would be nice is that if you could force the door to open towards me. In this game, the way it works right now, the doors always open towards the room you're walking to. And what happened was there is actually enough room for this shower in there, but you get stuck when you try to close the door. Now, one time I didn't get stuck. I guess I just got really lucky. But I mean, I'm a little obsessed. So there was actually space for the shower in there. There was not space for a sink. So that's why I thoughtfully put the toothpaste and toothbrush out here in the kitchen sink. But I figured in real life you could live without a sink in your bathroom if you had a little studio. So again, I kind of picked like the lantern and the green tile and the white floor tile just to kind of go with that cottage garden style theme and like the antique toilet paper holder. So that's the house. And I do have fun with the house stuff. I do like house redesign games, but I really, really like gardens, and I garden in real life, and we're pretty slow on remodeling our own fixer-upper house in real life. Isn't that right, Matt?
We've done a lot.
Well, okay, we have done a lot, but there's a lot more to do. So, okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the next spike of this, so you can kind of really see how obsessed you can be and how perfectly you can get things to line up if only you walk around and check them a million times from every single angle. So I'm going down to plants and I'm going to edible plants. Now the trees, I'm going to do an orchard. I've already picked out the grapes I'm using for the pergola. So you're going to notice, there's the chamomile right there. Aside from what I've already used, there's not a lot left. You've got cucumbers, and you've got pumpkins. I've already used the raspberries, the strawberries, and the tomato, and you've got zucchini. So I've basically used almost all of the vegetables in the game already. And on my Reddit thread, I mean, there's like 15 to 20 other common vegetables that people would grow and eat who are vegetable gardeners, as well as like maybe like 7 or 8 really common herbs you would grow, and then like 4 or 5 beneficial flowers that attract the good insects and repel the bad insects. And all of those really work together well to make the potager design, because you want to have such a variety of textures and shapes and colors to work with. So let me show you what the deal is with these. I think I might have to put the pumpkin like, so you can tell it's huge, right? And so I could use that as like, the spoke. I mean, I could use that as like that part of the spoke, or I could put it like, I don't know. It's not very straight. We'll try to, but I'm going to move these around. So I'm going to put 2 of the pumpkins down. I can sell them later if I change my mind. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get me the cucumbers because I haven't used any of those yet. Okay, cucumbers. I'm just going to put 2 down to start. And I'm going to get the zucchini. And that's also enormous. So let me just put 1 of those down. So, yeah, I mean, there's like... And then you can't really walk over it either, I guess. So I'm going to pick it up. Come out this way. La, la, la. So when I'm thinking how I'm going to do it, I do like that there's kind of a straight edge on that side of the zucchini. And I think you can rotate it. Yeah, you can rotate it all the way around. So that could actually make like a nice little spike. So, and these cucumbers, because they're small, they might go well in the middle. But I may end up putting some carrots and cabbage and stuff in there just because, you know, right now I'm limited on what I can do. Put the pumpkin over there just to get out of the way for now. So one thing I like in this game is that it takes longer to pick up the big things, and that kind of makes it seem like they're heavier. So I think that's kind of cute. So good job on that, developers. So where was that straight edge I liked? Now see, that's a Y. So I don't know why I thought that. I guess I thought that one was the straight edge. Okay, so what I'm going to do. So see, I'm kind of turning around in the game so I can find the point where I want the point to go from my spoke of my wheel. And I mean, this point is going to look a lot less pointed, I think, than my other one. I don't know. I'm not loving it. Let me buy another cucumber though, and we'll see. Or that's the zucchini. All right, let me buy another one and we'll see. Because see, my concern is that it's just, yeah, that one's too Y-shaped. So what I might do is I might put the pumpkins separate, actually. So if I put that there, this is me being obsessive. Okay, this is basically how I design my gardens. I'm just completely obsessed with rotating things around and finding like the exact perfect way that I want it to go. So see, right now what I'm going to do is try it with the Y, with the stem of the Y out here is the point, and those two going that way. And I'm going to see what happens if I put the little cucumbers in somewhere. Like I could, oh, see, that looks cute. That kind of fits in right there as like the base of the triangle point. And I wonder if I can get the other one to fit as like an equally nice base. Oh, that looks kind of nice. I kind of like that. Okay, so that's starting to make a triangle point. So that's making me happy. So now what I'm going to do is obsessively space them until I feel that they're perfect. See, the reason why I'm picking this one up again is because it's a little bit crooked and I don't like that. So see, now I'm flipping it so that it looks less crooked. But what I've noticed sometimes is you really have to check the angle because you might think it looks straight from one angle, but then from another angle, it looks crooked. So if you have a little bit of OCD like I do, you really have to work hard to not feel like you're going crazy looking at your garden. Okay, so that right now, I'm kind of liking that as the base. But, okay, the reason why I'm not happy is I feel like that center is not really in the center of the pergola posts. So I warned people I'm really obsessive and nerdy. So this is if you want to learn how to be as obsessive and nerdy as me. Congratulations. Now you're going to know. So now to me that feels a little more satisfying. But now this one is closer to the pot and this one is farther away from the pot. So I'm going to fix that because I don't like that. That freaks me out and I can't sit with it like, oh, but now that one looks too crooked. I'm going to fix it. Welcome to my world of perfectionism. Okay, now I kind of like that spacing right there, but that spacing here is not the same, so I'm going to move this one closer in. Now, one trick I found that works really well when you want to move something and just adjust the alignment. See how it leaves a shadow from where you pick it up. So what I do is first I snap it back into where the shadow is just by eye. There's no button you can push or that. But then I try to keep it in the shadow and just with the mouse, just click it over once. So you have to have a gentle technique with your mouse, but it works really well to get the alignment. And I think that's pretty good. And I like it because now these two birch trees, if you notice, they're kind of like right in the middle of my point. Beautiful. But now this one's not aligned the way I want it to be. So I'm gonna, and now what I'm looking for here is that the point of the top leaf lines up in between the two birch trees. Okay. And then, but now we have to do all our checks. You're like, oh, that looks pretty good. That looks like a triangle. Does it though? Does it? So we have to check it from every point. So I'm standing now. You want to stand like right at the point of your other point and look out and see, oh, is that like in alignment with my point? And it may, I think this one's a little bit of a shorter triangle. So I'm going to check it now from this angle. So I'm going to fill in the sides of the triangle a little more, I think. And I think I'm going to rotate this a little bit because I feel like that top there is going kind of crooked and I would prefer that it go a little straighter. But see, now I picked it up. I didn't snap it in first. So now I'm, okay, having trouble. Okay. So there. I think I like that a little bit better. I mean, it's not going to be perfect because it's a vine, but it needs to be the point where it's not going to drive me insane. So, and one other thing I'll do is like, I'll walk all the way back to where I want the focal point to be. I'll turn around and I'll be like, oh, look, that lines up perfectly. So that makes me feel pretty good. And then looking out to there. So right now, I think this is a shorter triangle, but I think I might be able to fill some of this in. Now, it'd be really nice if we had like radishes in the game. Radishes are really good for filling in like little small areas. I think I might put some carrots in here just to give it the pop of color because, you know, all I've really got to work with that's edible, I've got the pumpkins, which are huge, and I don't think I'm going to be able to work those into this point of my design. And I mean, you've got the strawberries and the carrots, and that's about all you got. The lettuce is green, and I already have a lot of green going on with this. So that's why I'm hoping that they will start adding in a whole bunch more vegetables. So now what you have to be careful of, and this is where some of the design trick comes in. See, I can, when it's green, obviously you can plant it, but there's a lot of spots where it's too close to the vine to plant. So I'm going to have to, if I'm going to add some in here, I'm going to have to probably move these around a lot. Because like I want to keep them in a line, but see, I don't really like that line right now. See, that's like a mushy line. I want it to look like a straight line. Get out of here, carrot. So I might not end up putting the carrots here at all, but I'm going to. So really, ideally what I want is for those two carrots to go in this straight line from this white pole all the way down to the point. But right now, they're not doing that for me. So this one is too close. I think I need to pull that one out a little bit. That might look a little better. Let's try. And another good design principle. Oh, see, I like that a lot better because you can see that one carrot's there and that one's there. And now it looks like you have a straight line going all the way out. So one good design principle is to do things in groups of 1, 3, 5. You can also do like 7, but those are the prime numbers. And for whatever reason, it looks really nice to have things in those groupings. But because of where the vine is, see, it looks like you ought to be able to fit another carrot in there, but it won't let you fit another carrot in there. And because I'm trying to do a triangle, I don't think I'm going to do one on the outside. I mean, I could, but I'll do it, but I'm probably going to take it out. But let's see. Let's do on this side now. Now on this side too, because of the way the vine is shaped, I don't know that I'm going to be able to achieve it equal. But so what I'm going to look at is to try to do it at the same horizontal line And I'm going to try to do it like exactly where it'll let me. And then here, same horizontal line. And try to pull it out enough so that you've got like that nice line, triangle line going from here to the white post and back. And again, this bottom one is too close, so I'm going to pull it out farther. So let's see. That's where I had it. And see, that's a slightly better angle. You can kind of see. I think that's going to be a better line. So nope, too far. Okay, so this is how crazy I am. If you're equally crazy, you'll appreciate it. If not, you know, I'm sure you'll pause the video and never come back. But so yeah, so now I've got the two that way. I've got the two that way. I might go ahead and do another row with the carrots because the way where the post is, I would have space. So we'll see. Let's get some more and let's just see what it looks like. I mean, the nice thing about this game is that you're trial and error. At least it's easier than like being outside in the yard actually trying to plant things. So what I'm going to do is I don't want, you know, this to be at the same horizontal level as that one. I want them to be like interspaced. So I'm going to, but I also want these two to be about the same width apart as those two. What I'm going to do is just try to plant some kind of equidistant apart, and I'm going to adjust them. But I'm just going to try to kind of get my line laid out. And then I'm going to like go and check it and see how's it all look. I'm waiting to plant these grapes until the end, by the way, because I might need to move them. So, all right, I kind of like that look. That looks pretty straight. It feels like it's moving towards the point. I don't think because of the way the vine is, I'm going to be able to get any carrots in this space right here. But I'm actually pretty happy with that. So I'm going to buy some more and see if it will let me plant some ones in between. But it might not because of the way the vine is. So see, like I can plant some here, but I don't know that it's going to let me get close enough to where I want to up there. Might do one there, but if I can't do one here, I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Okay, I can get one in there, and I think I'll move this one a little farther out that way. Okay, see, now I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is not a prime number. I'd feel better if there was like 10, because then it would be 5 and 5. But it just won't let me put one right there, I don't think. I'm going to try, but I don't think it's going to let me. Yeah, it's like too close, doesn't want to let you. Oh, well. But in general, I'm fairly happy with that. These might be a little bit farther spaced than these, but move that one just a little bit. Oh, see that I moved it, and I'm not happy that I moved it. So, all right. So when I look at it from down here, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to work on this side. And this is just my rough planting, and then I'll go back and try to fix it. So, all right, so here I had the 5 on the outside and the 4 on the inside. So even though the vine isn't exactly the same on both sides, I kind of want to do it the same way. So all right, so I think this one, I need to pull that up a little bit so it matches that one a little bit better. And then this one, see, I didn't like that it wasn't exactly lined up with that one. And so this one then needs to come up a little bit. Be like with that. Now, see, there's too many leaves here. It's getting a little difficult to see. where the other ones are. But with obsession and patience, you can figure it out. So, okay, that one, the outside one is the one farthest on the bottom. So you can tell I have these flipped. I had the inside one being the one that was the farthest on the bottom. So I'm going to change that. And changing it, I'm going to try to like line it up with that one. About like that. And then we'll just see if we can kind of see, because those cucumbers, I don't know if it's going to let me. It'll let me put it in farther, but I don't know if I want to put it all the way that far. But we will see. So pull this one back, line it up there. I think that one's extra. I'm just gonna put that over there for now. Okay, now sometimes too, you want to come into the middle of your design and look at it from the middle, and it might be a little easier to line things up too. So I've got one going out, one going in, one going out. This and that one there. I think there's one there. So, okay, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I've got too many. So, all right, that was part of the problem. So I just want 5 on the outside and 4 on the inside. And I think now I've got it. So anyway, you can, work as obsessively as you want to get your garden exactly perfect. And then you can look at it with a rich sense of satisfaction that you have been an obsessive maniac, but my God, you have a beautiful triangle. So, as you can see, it's a pretty decent triangle at this point. Now, the one thing I realized I did that I'm not so sure I like, but I don't really think I can help it at this point, I can't get back into the middle of the pergola, I don't think, from the way things are planted. You're kind of trapped. So you have to go all the way around to come back in. So here we are. And I think I'm just going to finish this one off with some strawberries just to add some color, because I don't really want to put more cherry tomatoes, I don't think, because those are going to add like the height. Although, okay, I'm changing my mind because I kind of like having a variety of heights in each stem of the design, and everything here is really low to the ground. So maybe I will put some, but see, I wish we had another choice besides the raspberries and the cherry tomatoes, because I've already used each of those. And I mean, there's a group of raspberry shrubs, but I don't know. And then also, if I do that, you can't really get the effect of, I hate doing that. You're supposed to hit tab to get the tablet, and I always hit escape by mistake. But yeah, now I'm rethinking the height thing, because if I put in the tall things, you're not going to really be able to see the point of the triangle that much. So maybe you'll get it if I just do the raspberry plants. And we'll try it and see. And if I don't like it, I'll kill them. So, okay, that's not bad. Now, sorry. Okay, sorry, coughing here. But one thing about Potager, which you can't really get from this game, I don't think at this point, is that it was really designed like in medieval chateaus in France. So a lot of the design, you really had to be like upstairs looking out the window of the castle to see it. So maybe I can live with the fact that you can't completely see the point of that triangle. But I think I kind of like that, because I like that it adds some variety of height. I feel like with the single raspberry plants, you can still kind of see the general layout. You know what's bothering my OCD is that raspberry isn't exactly lined up with that tree. But I'm not sure that tree is exactly in the middle, but I might try to just fix it. Let's see, it won't go over anymore. So I'm just going to have to tell myself that's good enough. So I think this spike might be done. I'm not sure. I might be able to fit some strawberries in. We'll look and see. Oh, I'm always hitting the wrong button on this, but we'll see if we can fit the strawberries in, but I don't know if they will fit. But it might look kind of cute to put like, oh, well, maybe one will fit. All right, one might be all right. Let's see. Oh no, I don't know if that looks messy or if that looks, let's go look at it from another angle, which is my favorite thing to do. These are my leftover plants. I might use these for the other spokes, so I'm not going to delete them just yet. Over a little bit. Pumpkins are massive. Okay, I think I am going to get rid of these carrots, though, because they're cheap. I don't really care. So, okay, so I don't know. I mean, you can't really see that strawberry from the side. I don't know that, I mean, you can't really see it from the point. I guess you can see it from here. I would like if I could pull it out a little bit more, but see, it's not going to let me pull it out any closer. So I think, let me take that out for a minute. Let me try a marigold there instead, because that might be a nice little contrast, and I think it's a little smaller. Plants. Marigold. Let's try that. Oh, there you go. I can pull that out a little closer. Oh, I wonder if I can fit some in here on the sides. Oh no, it's not gonna let me. See, that would have been nice if I could fit some in on the sides. But I think I like that with the marigold a little bit better because that gives the contrast to the raspberry color, even though it's the same as the carrot color. So, all right, so that is my spoke of my potager. Now, one thing I haven't really figured out yet is how to get rid of this little extra grass here. I mean, there's like some gravel and things that you can use to cover it up. But since I don't know 100% what I'm going to do for the rest of this area yet, and I might put in some more flower beds and things and vegetable beds, I think I'm just going to leave it for now. But so you can see there's our little spike. I could put a marigold at the top, but I don't know if I think that would be maybe too much. I don't know. Part of me wants to try it though. So let's try it. But if it's too much, I'm going to take it out. Coco Chanel said, take off one accessory before you leave the house. But I tend to say put on one extra accessory before you leave the house. I don't know if I'm going to like how that looks. Let's see. Actually, maybe I kind of do like that because I feel like it picks up the orange from the carrots. It picks up this marigold and it kind of draws it to a nice little point. And it kind of defines the point of the spoke too. Whereas with the green, it's just the green. So, all right. And then these pumpkins, of course, aren't really going there. Put them over here in my leftovers bin. I'm going to move that little strawberry. I don't know if I'm going to save it or not, but I'll put it over here for now. All right, so that is about my spoke of garden design, and I hope it's not off center because now I'm like, oh crap, did I do it off center? But I think it's okay because here's the birch trees and there's that. So, all right, so I think I'm going to wrap up here for this little segment. So this is, the potager vegetable design. And I think next time I'm going to show you either rebuilding the wildflower meadow, which I thoughtlessly deleted, or my little pond area, which also got deleted. So thanks for listening. You can check us out at the Nerdy Rat Podcast, which is thenerdyrat.com. And I guess that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.